Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a lovely day and your weekend's off to a great start. Today we're going to create a card with the Spellbinders Large Die of the Month Club kit for October 2020. This is so neat. It's an interactive set this month. There's 18 cutting dies and it creates a door that will open and close for a hidden message, but it's a beautiful door that you can decorate for any occasion or any season. It's called Always Welcome. And so we're going to jump in and we're going to start off by doing some die cutting. We're die cutting with some colored cardstock, and I'm going with neutrals today. I thought we'd create a neutral card, no occasion, just a welcome, maybe a welcome home card or welcome to the neighborhood. So we're going with neutrals. I'm using oatmeal cookie cardstock. And I have a panel that measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, so it's a card front size. We're going to use the entire panel, so you want to make sure that this door is centered on your panel. I guess if you want it offset, you very well could, but you have some pillars that are going to go to the left and right, and I think it looks best if you center it. I'm going to add the bottom and the top piece just to double check my centering, and then I'll tape this down, and we are going to run this through the die cut machine. Now this door creates a hinge, so it'll open and close, which makes it interactive, which is so nice. It's a pretty good size for messaging. Absolutely, you could write a long pretty message in here, but I'm not sure if it'll hold a gift card or not. It looks like it will, but I'll have to check that out and see. But I'm just reinforcing that score line so my door will open and close easily. And there is embossed detail on that door as well. Now, I wanted a different color door other than the oatmeal cookie, the craft cardstock, so we're bringing in some cocoa powder. All the cardstock that I have I'm using from Fun Stamper's Journey. I'll list it down below. But I'm using cocoa powder to create a door front that's darker. And then we're going to bring in some white cardstock and die cut out our pillars. And then also the top of our doorway and then the bottom, I'm going to call that a step, the bottom step of our doorway. Now there is a fancy window pane that you can put on your door. You don't have to, but I'm going to die cut that out with white cardstock as well. It's pretty intricate, so I thought maybe we should bring in some white liner sheets. White liner sheets are double-sided adhesive sheets, and so it'll create a sticker with this. It just makes die cutting intricate dies a little bit easier. I trimmed down a piece and we're going to adhere that to some more white cardstock, and then I'm going to use that same piece of white cardstock, and I wanted lots of letters for my card today. We're going to go ahead and tack that down. When you run it through the die cut machine, it really presses the white liner sheet to your cardstock. So we'll die cut out the fancy window and then lots of envelopes. It's going to make it easy because when you die cut out the envelope, there's the envelope part, and then you have the closure part that you can adhere to create a little dimension. Realistic envelope. So I die cut everything out. They're good to go. There's my my door front, and I did add my fancy window frame to this. So I have a window in my door front. I'm going to trim off at the score line, so we just have a door now, and then this way I can add that to my oatmeal cookie cardstock to create a different color door. Okay, next we're going to do a little bit more die cutting. There is embossed detail on these pillars, and you guys would not believe the dimension that you get when you die cut these out. So I encourage you guys to use your embossing mat. It just creates beautiful dimension on those pillars, especially if you use white cardstock. Now there is a mailbox for your door, which I love these. We have an older home, and I'm thinking I would have loved to have a mailbox like this on my door. It's on the outside, but I just think it's nice not having to go outside to get your mail. But I'm going to die cut that out with gold cardstock, and I backed my gold cardstock up with some brown fun foam just to give it a little bit of dimension. I'm going to take that same brown cardstock we used for the door, and we're going to die cut out the decorative pieces that go on your pillars. I'm going to die cut out that piece twice. Now for our welcome mat, I am going to use the welcome today, and we're going to die cut out the front part of the mat with a dark green cardstock. This is green olive, and then I like it that it's separated because there's another sentiment in there that you can create. The other one says wishes, and then there's a sentiment that says best wishes, which makes it really nice to have optional sentiments in here. I'm going to take the same green olive cardstock and back that with some green fun foam, and then we're going to die cut out the wreath with that, so have a little bit of dimension on our wreath. I'm going to take the same mat and die cut that out. We need a backing for our sentiment, so I'm going to use lemongrass, which is a lighter green ink, so our welcome's really going to stand out with the light green behind it. And then I also added my white liner sheet behind my wreath and die cut it out with lemongrass also. So we have 2 wreaths in 2 different greens. Here's my mailbox. I love the dimension that it gave, but it's going to make it a little bit hard to add letters to it, because it did stick down when I ran it through my die cut machine, so we'll have to work on that. Next, we're going to build our wreath. Just going to remove that white liner sheet to create my little sticker, and then we're offsetting this on the darker green cardstock. This way you have both the light green and the dark green leaves showing here. I think that looks so pretty. Now we'll build our little welcome mat, and we're just going to add little dots of glue behind my welcome on the darker green cardstock, and then we can just go ahead and layer that on our lighter green. I love browns and greens and tans together. It just creates a real natural look. I would say just very earthy. I really like the way that looks. So there's my welcome. Okay, so that's good to go. Next, we're going to zoom in a bit. I'm going to use the backing of my white liner sheet as scratch paper, and then we're going to add just a little bit of shading to our envelopes. I'm using a W3 or a W2 marker just to add a bit of shading. This is just going to add, there's so much dimension on all these pieces. I'm going to go full Monty with all these little envelopes. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the rectangle piece, I'm drawing a V. When you die cut these out, there's a little dot that you use with your pokey tool to punch it out of the die. It actually it actually shows up on your little envelope. So that's the center point. I'm just going to create a V with that, highlighting it, and then I can add the closure part of the envelope. So there's a little bit of shadow underneath that closure, and they look really pretty. You'll see in the close-ups just that little detail, what a difference it makes. Okay, we're going to start on our door panel. I'm going to go ahead and change the color of my door to my cocoa powder. I am going to pop my door up with foam adhesive. Before we do that, I'm going to add my window, so I'm making sure it's centered. This is the great thing about that sticker. If you guys have stick-it adhesive, I think it would work the same, or you could use glue. I just found this way easier. So wait, my door window is centered. Next, I'm going to add the wreath to my brown door. We're going to flip it over, and I'm going to add foam tape behind it for a little bit of dimension. I added my wreath first because I wasn't sure if it would fit on my window. And it tacked to the left and to the right, which is nice because it's one level higher than my door. I'm going to add that to my panel here, and I just love the way this looks. So press everything down. Adding dimension to the door too actually gives your open and closing a little bit of stability. Now I did pop up all of my white pieces here with foam adhesive, so they're the same height as my doorway. And I'm just loving the way this turns out. Who knew that a door would be so fun? But you can see how it opens and closes. We're going to go ahead and add our mat. Just add a little glue behind here. Place that right below the doorway. Okay, after we have this done, you can see how a little bit earthy that looks like. I'm going to add a little bit of glue behind our mailbox. I think the gold goes really nice with this. I don't know what it was. I just think it was a good color combination. Okay, we're going to add our little mailbox, which does open and close too, guys. I just added fun foam, so the adhesive back kept it closed, but it does, your mailbox does open and close, which is really nice. I'll add a dot of glue, and we're going to add our little doorknob, which I die cut out with that same brown fun foam and gold cardstock, so it's got a little dimension to that too. Now these little pieces are decorative pieces for your door. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue, and then I cut out two. You could use one for the top and then one for the bottom of your pillars, but I wanted to add a dimension. So I'm going to layer two of them together just to give it a little extra height on my card today. You could skip this if you don't want to, but I think just adding one more really makes a difference. I added too much glue there. We'll add this one over here. Well, then we'll add our left one. And that is good to go. Okay. We're going to flip this over. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue behind my panel, and then I'm not going to normally I like to pop things up on my card bases, but this is pretty much dimensional. I'm not going to add any foam tape behind here, just glue. We'll add this to a standard A2 size card front and card base actually, and then we'll glue that down, making sure it's centered. And then there you could write your message on the inside, a little hidden message. Or it would be cute if you guys could put a key in there. You know, maybe somebody has a new roommate and wants to give them a key. And I think it'd be cute. Okay, I did add a piece of foam tape that I kind of removed the tackiness so my door would open and close easily. And next we're going to go ahead and add our envelopes. I wanted one hanging out of the doorway or the mailbox, so I'm going to use my tool-in-one and kind of remove that gold cardstock from my fun foam so I could adhere an envelope sticking out of the mailbox. I die cut out 5 of my letters, so I wanted them kind of trailing down on my little welcome mat. But you want to make sure that they're hitting your door and not your welcome mat, because if they are on your welcome mat, you probably won't be able to open your door. So just kind of place them a little bit wonky, and then this way your door opens and closes. So cute. Okay, now we're just going to add a few bells and whistles. I'm going to bring in some white twine. I'm going to tie a very small bow, and then I think our bow needs our wreath needs a bow. So we're going to add a little dot of glue at the very top, and then add our bow here. I'm just going to trim the tails, and that's going to work out perfect. And the neat thing about the wreath is, guys, you could decorate this wreath for all occasions. I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle with some gold glitter drops. I thought the gold glitter drops would be perfect because my my mailbox and my doorknob is gold, so it just kind of spreads out that gold, and it keeps it neutral too. If you want to put red glitter drops on there or red sequins, you can make a really pretty holiday wreath, but I'm making it universal today. This is my project for Spellbinders with the Large Die of the Month Club Kit for October 2020. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.